Let me ask you something. You're looking to get your first watch, you go online, you start searching, and suddenly you're drowning in Swiss brands, luxury names, price tags that make zero sense. It's overwhelming. But here's what nobody tells beginners. There is one brand that has quietly conquered the entire watch world, worn by astronauts, soldiers, hip-hop legends, and your dad, all at the same time. That brand is Casio, and today we're breaking down everything you need to know, the history, the watches, and why this brand deserves a spot on your wrist right now. So where did Casio even come from? Here's the story, and it's a good one. It's 1946, Tokyo, Japan. A man named Tadao Casio starts a small company. They weren't even making watches at first, they were making calculators. But Tadao had bigger dreams. In 1974, Casio released their very first watch, and it was a statement. Clean, digital, precise, something the market had never really seen from a Japanese brand at that price point. But the real turning point, 1983. That's when Casio engineer Kikuo Aibe had a simple but crazy idea. Make a watch that could survive anything. He spent 2 years developing it, dropping prototypes out of windows, throwing them across rooms, testing them in ways no watch had ever been tested. The result was the G-Shock DW5000C, the very first G-Shock ever made. It was shock-resistant, water-resistant, virtually indestructible, and it changed everything. Within years, the G-Shock wasn't just a watch, it was a cultural icon. The US military adopted it, NBA players wore it on the bench, Run DMC put it in music videos, and today over 100 million G-Shocks have been sold worldwide. Let that number sink in. So what actually makes Casio worth your attention in 2024? Let's break it down into what matters most for a first-time buyer. Number 1, toughness. This is Casio's DNA. The G-Shock line is built to survive drops, shocks, vibrations, and water up to 200 meters on certain models. This is not a watch you put in a velvet box and admire. This is a watch you strap on and live your life in. No stress, no babying, no worrying about scratches. That freedom is genuinely underrated when you're buying your first watch. Number 2, value that makes no sense. Here's something wild. The Casio F91-W, one of the most iconic, most recognized watches on the entire planet, costs under $20. It has a daily alarm, a stopwatch, a backlight, and a battery that lasts around 7 years. 7 years on a single battery, and the G-Shock lineup, it starts at around $50. For a watch built to survive almost anything, $50 is basically nothing. Even as you go higher in the Casio lineup, into their solar-powered models, their Bluetooth-connected watches, their premium MTG series, the value at every level is genuinely hard to beat. Number 3, variety for every single lifestyle. This is huge for beginners because most people don't know exactly what they want yet. Casio covers everything. You want something minimal and classic? The A168 series gives you that vintage digital look. You want something tough for outdoor adventures? The G-Shock Rangeman has a built-in compass, altimeter, and thermometer. You want something that never needs a battery ever again? Casio's tough solar line charges itself from light. You want something that looks sharp enough for a dinner but tough enough for a hike? The G-Shock GM Metal series does exactly that. Whatever your life looks like, Casio has a watch for it. So here's where we land. If you are buying your very first watch and you have no idea where to start, the answer is Casio. Not because it's the cheapest option, not because it's the flashiest, but because it delivers something that even watches 10 times the price often fail to deliver: reliability, personality, and a story worth wearing. There is absolutely zero shame in wearing a Casio. In fact, it's a flex that most people don't even realize is a flex. Watch collectors with Rolexes and Pateks on their shelf still reach for their G-Shock on the weekend. That tells you everything. Start with the F91-W if you want legendary simplicity under $20. Step up to the classic DW5600 G-Shock if you want something tougher and more iconic. And if you want to go a little further, the GA2100, nicknamed the Casio by collectors, is one of the coolest looking watches at any price point, period. Any of those three will make you understand immediately why this brand has been winning for over 50 years. And that is Casio. One company, one mission: make watches that actually work for real people at prices that actually make sense. So I want to hear from you. Are you a Casio person already, or is this your first time really looking at the brand? Drop it in the comments below. And if you want more beginner-friendly breakdowns just like this, every brand, every budget, no gatekeeping, hit that subscribe button because we've got a lot more coming. Let's go.